galerinha.
I could just start calling them that.
Começar com Sonic Boom.
Them Crazy Show.
Ah, ok. Tudo bem. Estamos aí de volta com a Juliana Rios. E a Juliana Rios? Tá lá, né?
Tá lá no chão goiano.
Ah, o chão goiano. Mais uma semana com o Dieminion. Lembrando que todos esses estão sendo gravados no mesmo fim de semana, então vocês estão assistindo aí. E agora a gente vai continuar mais uma vez com essa transformação em inglês shifter. Acho que você deveria arriscar falar mais inglês hoje, senão
Então conversa comigo.
in this time he has to speak a little more English.
Okay.
He has to because he went to England this year and he said that he
What? You went to England?
and,
You know some English.
and he said it was like everything fine. Oh, I managed everything fine. So let's see.
Did they talk like this? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So,
That was horrible.
okay, so
That was horrible.
our Englishman, find us the first match of the day.
Okay.
Created. So we finished last stuff talking about like Marvel 2, the first game that played competitive.
Yep.
But there's the sometimes my brain from mixing the languages gets a little. Okay.
He's from Goiânia.
Did you play? Did
Goiânia.
you play any other game before Marvel 2? Like,
Well,
did you play like
competitively?
since Street Fighter 2?
Yeah,
like,
I've been playing since, we're both the same.
Yeah.
We come from that background,
From
so
86, right?
86.
Like the best year.
You know, I was a man by the age of 6.
Yeah.
You know?
He's
But
a belt player.
Marvel 2 was the first time that you started playing. Yeah,
competitively.
Like,
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Okay.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he good?
It's not nice. It's not from like the random time.
Okay.
It's better than the guys that we played. Okay. So, but when were you playing competitive? It was like during the time where Marvel 2. Did you play throughout all the life of the game since like the beginning where Cammy was the good until the end of the game where Centrax and
I pretty much grew up with those guys.
yeah.
He's pretty good. He has a lot of points.
My favorite Marvel 2 player was Duck Doe.
Doug,
Yeah,
he was very fun to watch.
I love watching his play. And here in Brazil, you know, we have to do our stuff. So to watch Evil, a guy had to go and get the DVD and make us copies. We don't have to lie about that. So when the Stanford vs Duck match was announced, I was waiting for the copies to watch. I watched that like 10 times. They're showing him the game, right? Ooh.
That was a gimmick. Gimmick. That doesn't count.
What was your team?
I ultimately was playing Team Scrub, Cable Sentinel.
Cable Sentinel,
Captain
Commando.
Commando.
Right?
I love Commando.
No, you don't love Commando as a point. You love Commando as assist.
Yeah.
Let's get things straight here. Giovanni, tá gravando essa bagaça, né?
Tá gravando,
Esqueceu,
cara.
né?
Tá gravando lá.
Então vai, fala inglês com o nosso amigo aí. Pergunta
Cara,
pra ele.
mas-
Qual que é o livro favorito dele?
Pera aí, não. Calma aí. Tá capturando. Tá capturando.
Como é que tá o tempozinho lá? Tá
3 minutos. 3 minutos.
How is working this round? Didn't know you played Euro.
I'm learning. Just like I'm learning Portuguese.
Okay.
Oh, I hate this situation. Delay, wake up, please. Save me!
And you know, like Keomo here, and he never does like step kick into tornado throw. You have like different styles of play. Like Keoma, he doesn't gamble as much.
Okay.
He knows that if he goes for a tornado throw, he can be punished more than like if he goes for regular throw. I believe your style of play, Gaio, is kind of that as well, right? You don't go like for too much gamble and risk.
Yeah.
Do you think like that is the only right way to play the character?
Well, Guile, in this game especially, he can't afford to take those risks, so you have to play like extra safe. You have to play really safe to win with him.
He's getting a little wheel kick happy. Can you punish the wheel kick with like crouching wheel kick? Can you want that? Don't test it out, I'm just asking, okay? If you're gonna get hit, don't blame me. I'm just curious.
He's gonna do EX.
Vamos trajando um aqui do lado, né, cara?
EX wheel kick, you say?
Yes.
Ó o silêncio, ó o silêncio. Ô chão goiano.
It's because I was talking.
Because you were talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next match we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk only between us, and you just play. Okay. Let me see if I can handle our Xbox Live here.
Oh.
It was all a dream. Like
Yes,
Abel
it
said. It was all a dream for me.
You remember that song like I can see clearly now. Have you seen when Evil Ryu win? You say that. You say I can see clearly now.
But then they couldn't add the rest of the phrase because of copyright.
Cria.
I'm not joking. I actually say that when he wins. Not this song, of course. Wagner. We're Wagner tonight. People think we're Wagner. That guy.
Who's that?
The Xbox owner.
No.
Is he here?
No.
That was the same guy.
Is he laggy? Is the
no,
same guy?
we played.
Well, now you can show me. Mr. I can talk while playing.
Ah, okay. I can't, to be honest. That's why it's better when you have like 3 people recording because you can talk.
Too much information doesn't get stuck in there.
But
Two brains.
You can try me. You can try me. I'm like
Don't
the
try
best. I'm the best talking player.
Really?
No.
I won the Guinness
I
World.
cannot play with myself.
You're learning a little bit of English now, huh? Nice. 2 plus 2.
Yeah.
4.
4 plus 4.
8.
8 plus 8.
16.
16 plus 16.
32.
Oh, all right. Let me change it up. 3 plus 3.
3 plus 3, 6.
Oh, that was so easy. But you had to think about that. 4 plus 4.
4 plus 4. 8.
6 plus 6.
Oh, you could punish me.
Yeah, that was a good punishment. This is mad. You learned this in like 2nd grade. Nice. I think it's what I was talking to you. Oh, that's so cheap. That's so cheap. I didn't know you were such a cheap guy.
That's why I'm dropping Akuma because I only play setup with him, and it's really hard to. It's not hard, but I'm kind of bored because I've been playing him like since vanilla. But I think it's cool because you really have to change differently with him now. You can like rely on setups anymore.
Yeah.
You can see like for example, I was watching Tokido play. He doesn't go for Tatsu sweep anymore. Like almost never.
Well, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah, but I think he, like once in a while you put it right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Ay.
Come.
Ele vai fazer.
It was laggy, right?
Yeah. Because you were asking me question before.
I know.
He's dashing, so I don't even know.
You're safe to throw firework now. Yeah, definitely. Do it. Oh no.
It wasn't
inputs.
that. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't test his reactions. Don't. He's gonna do a flip. Don't test it. Oh. Oh.
Yoran!
Wes
Want to
Rioran.
try the math or want to test like
No,
general
no.
gestures?
I want you to win. I'm a nice person, you know. I don't know about you,
Okay.
you know. Oh, wow. I don't think even math, you know, could save that one. A little combo there. That doesn't mean anything. He's going to jump. He's going to jump.
I want him to jump.
You must kill her.
Oh.
If you don't kill her, you will die.
Is that like Bollywood?
No. You have to kill her now.
I know that's not like the best option to go
And
for
it was
the
a
reset,
cross-up.
but I didn't know it was going to hit the combo before.
You're such a psychic. High five. High five. Yeah. Yeah.
Arregaçar.
Arregaçar.
Regaçar. Regaçar.
And that is kind of a joke here because we don't have that for Spanish. We don't have like
Double R.
we have the double R, but for example in Spanish like real harder. So here when we say like that we're speaking like to be funny.
What does that mean exactly?
Arregaçar is to tear it up.
Tear it up.
The word is arregaçar.
Arregaçar.
Ó, a barra amarela. Arregaçar. So in Portuguese we don't say arre.
Oh,
But in some regions in Brazil they say
do.
arregaçar,
Okay.
and that's what we say in the country. We're going to arregaçar. That's where we're gonna tear people.
Tear it up. Okay. So when you say like I want to tear up this piece of paper, you say arregaçar.
No. When I'm saying tearing up, I mean like when you destroy, not just like tearing.
Oh, okay. Not
Arregaçar,
like.
Yeah.
Okay. I get the difference now. I get it.
But everybody who came here, the most important, two most important Street Fighter related words that you have to hear, that you have to learn, is farofa.
Farofa.
You know what farofa means, right? In English.
Of course.
What is it? Let's teach your fellow countrymen.
All right.
Farofa.
For those that don't know, see, because I was in Brazil for like a day, right?
Yeah, like in the hood,
Right.
and learning the slangs from Brazil.
And this is what I learned about FAROMA. FAROMA, right?
Farofa.
Farofa, right? This is what I gather from that, right? You dig? That means like when you just go for a wake up DP, something like that, right?
Farofa is
think.
it applies for both for two cases.
Okay.
Mashing,
Yeah.
and going crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
In France, they have a term like that. Well, in the UK, they call it rago.
Rago?
You might have heard it.
No.
Rago. You never
No,
heard of
no,
UK?
no.
UK slang. Shout out to F word. Ryan Hart, all the homies out there.
You know,
but it's pretty much the same thing.
You know what I hear from the UK, when I met Ryan Hart, I have to say, the first thing that I said to him, oh my days.
Oh my days.
When I'm watching him on stream, oh my days all the time. But Rago,
Oh my days.
Rago is like,
Rago is like, oh.
farofa.
No, he's gonna Yeah, Rago's like photo.
So if he
But it's a little less mashy. It's more.
is more going crazy.
Yeah.
Like a wake up super, roll super in CVS
But it's only Rago mostly if it works. If it works.
So Rago is like a good crazy play.
Yeah.
Like if you do a roll super in CVS2 and it hits,
Yeah.
that's a Rago.
I mean, it could work. It could not work, and it could still be Rago, but it's better when it's not working. Do we have a term like that in the U.S.? I don't think so.
And do you remember the term in French?
It's called pif. Pif. P-I-F. Pif. Le pifieux.
Le pifieux des professeurs. Ah, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I studied 1 year of French, but I can't remember. This was like 4 years ago. Did you go to France?
Yes, I was in France for a long time earlier this year. For about 3 months.
3 months?
3 months. Just chilling out there, you know. Shout out to all my French peoples. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun. It was fun.
Did you get to play
Speaking of French, this French Warriors game is Maul on right now. That was godlike.
That the guy that you played before you. Oh, he won.
Woo!
It's your time.
Oh, you mean the guy I should have won, but you were talking to me?
Yeah.
That guy?
Yeah, but remember that guy that you were talking about? I won either way. I was going to lose to. If it was Trajano, I was probably.
You're right. Yes, you're right. I'll give you that.
Let's see.
The badminton for a guy.
Yes. Very, very bad. Let's spin the wheel, shall we?
Did you do it for quick or did you create? Oh, okay.
Spin the wheel.
I never like completely understood how the quick match works. Like he creates a room and he also searches for it.
Is it good? Is it safe?
Yeah, you can go. I believe the connection.
Okay.
Você sabe de onde o Alan é?
Okay.
Alan Gamer.
Oh, he's from São Paulo. So
Down
it's,
south.
yeah. I'm sorry.
How do you say south? Sul?
Sul. Yeah.
Sul. Down? Abaixo?
Baixo.
Baixo?
But in this case, we probably say pra baixo.
Okay.
Pra baixo.
All right.
South.
He's from Brazil. So
He
he
plays-
most likely plays
No,
Blanca,
no.
right?
He plays jury, I think. I'm not sure. Alan Gamer
Gamer é
joga
que-
de júri, né?
Yeah, you're right.
I've been playing this game for. And I have my friends here to tell me the game.
Yeah, that helped a little.
It's São Paulo, né?
Eu joguei com.
Whoa, he has some points. B rank, yeah.
Damn points.
That points.
Mó vítima. Pode falar. Devia ser mó vítima.
Vítima horrorosa.
Não, ele falou que não é pra gente falar com ele. You don't want to stop him if you were totally gonna...
No, I have poison now. See, poison's brain dead, so I can talk and play at the same time.
Poison's brain
Poison's dead. Yeah. Yeah.
The thing she's the best character from the new one?
Poison, yeah, definitely. Oh, that was good. So good. Sorry. Oh my goodness. You were talking to me.
Was that a crouch minion kick that didn't hit? So, after Marvel 2, when did you stop playing? Which game made you stop playing Marvel 2?
Well, I went to school, so while I went to school, you know, yes, I do have an educational background.
Okay.
But I went to school, and then while I went to school, you know, everybody got better. So when I came back on the scene, I was like, not good. No, that's punishable. You're a B Ranger and you don't know that. Shut up. That was so good.
Yeah, but you know that he just did it, right? He just went for it. If you blocked, he was going to super it either way. It seemed to me as well.
Can I spin cut? Oh, are you serious? I just want to spin cut. That's all I'm gonna do.
A throw, a little thinking.
Sure.
That's what you get for playing like that. Not going for ultra when you should.
Alright. Okay. I'm really mad now.
Bring your A game.
Don't die quick into my fireball.
Who was USA's first president?
Sorry. No, I failed. I failed the question.
Not gonna do that.
Don't ask me who the second president was. I won't answer that either.
Fuck, you had an education.
Not in history.
Just
In
kidding.
English. My English is pretty damn good. Poison is so brain dead. Oh my goodness. Look what I'm just throwing a fireball. It's worse than Gaio.
I know that like the Sonic Boom. What is the recovery? You know, like frame.
20 frames, I think?
You know, it seems to me, a lot of times it seems like that it's even better. Her fireball. Do you know her fireball? How many frames?
Yes! Yes! I want Evo!
Yes!
Yes!
There are some players here in Brazil,
Yes!
and they have the jokes like sometimes they win like real small tournaments, and they make like posters in like images. Yeah, to post on Facebook. I won this tournament. We have time for 2 more matches. 2 more matches.
Who will take
Giovanni.
Who will take the floor?
Giovanni. Eu acho que você deveria pegar o Alfuerte e a gente jogar um round cada um.
Então beleza, então beleza.
We're gonna spend a round. Since we have 2, he's gonna pick Fuerte.
Okay.
He's gonna play a round, I'm gonna play another round.
Okay, okay. Oh, I like the sound of that. Kikinas.
O Marcos tá aí, mais uma vez.
Sup, my man? Sup, my man?
Olha,
my
olha
brother.
quem?
Aslan. Oh no, you're gonna play. You're gonna play.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's the Vega player that we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Okay.
But I'm not sure where he is. If he is in his home city, it's really far.
Okay, you know what?
Não, acho que ele tá aqui.
Yeah.
Ele veio pro torneio. Acho que
Oh,
ele
he just said that he is going to be in
O
the
Haslan veio
tournament,
pro
Oh,
torneio.
so he's probably
Hey.
here.
Okay.
O Haslan veio pro torneio?
That's good to know.
Ele tá aqui? Ele tá em Brasília? So he's probably here in Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, it's recording.
Yeah.
Arregaça.
Regas.
Arregaça.
Regas. Regas. Like,
Mó vítima. Mó vítima.
Vítima
Okay.
horrorosa.
flash kick.
Pegou até a roupinha especial da Dieminion agora pra jogar com o Aslan.
That was so fun.
Aslan.
Alright, alright.
A do Haslan ia vir.
Is it lagging?
Slightly.
So he's probably not here, not sure.
Jump already. Jump. Thank you. Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
Oh, behave, Kevin.
Cara, é muito comédia que a gente tá jogando sem som. Parece que tá mó, tipo, domingão, 4 da tarde, alguém fez um chá lá. You're gonna strip him now. You're gonna lose his pen now.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna go to the wall, chip.
I knew it! You knew it! I knew it!
But I thought he was going to do like the one that is faster.
The other one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's what I was expecting. I was expecting that.
Can you right throw that if you react?
No.
If you predict, right?
Yeah. Get back. Oh.
Ah, eu tenho que falar pra ele do Nestlé.
Honestly.
Nestlé.
Ah,
That's this.
It's called Nestlé here.
Okay. Alright.
No, like Nestlé Toho.
Oh, I'm so dead.
You call and say, guys like this. That's Haslam. That's the guy we mentioned before. We have time for one more match. We were going to play further, but do you want to see if you can find him again?
yeah.
You want to go to a rematch?
I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah.
Did he enter a room or did we enter his?
He entered ours.
Okay, so create again.
I want my run back. I'm kind of salty
yeah.
about that.
Pra fechar esse cabuloso.
Arregaçar a hora.
Sentar o pau
Sentar o pau.
nessa bagaça.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Vítima.
gonna get you.
Vítima horrorosa.
Vítima
Horrorosa.
horrorosa.
That is like you're a horrible victim.
Okay.
I
And
don't
what would that mean in English? A horrible victim.
No, yeah, vítima horrorosa. We say that when the guy loses for us, we say, oh, you're a victim.
Oh, okay.
Vítima
Horrorosa.
horrorosa is horrible. E agora, pra ver se o Dieminion aguenta a borrachada,
I got to
Aguenta
get
paçoca.
this. I got to get this.
my money
I got to.
now is in Rostan.
What?
Okay. I'm going for the guarantee here. Too. from what I see from the records here, it's like with 100% winning records.
Why? Oh, that was so good.
Chablauzinho de morango que ele vai usar.
Exatamente.
É ultra, né? O Anderson tá bom, né?
O que é, Sarda?
Ele consegue passar por baixo do tanto bom com rasteira?
Não sei.
Ele tentou ali. Ele tentou, não passou, mas ele tentou. Ou ele simplesmente mandou uma rasteira louca e engoliu o tanto bom.
Jump!
Giovanni,
Oi.
você tá inibido?
Não, cara, tô assistindo, vocês estão conversando, batendo um papo gostoso, acredito que vocês vão ficar depois do programa.
Entendi.
Tudo bem.
That's a solid round. That's a solid.
Of course it was solid. Like look who you talking to right now. Like, of course it was solid.
Do you have like a Guinness poster in the
He's gonna wake up. No, he's gonna wake up now.
display?
That was so
Great
solid.
reaction, yeah.
He got to get this.
That's how you
I wish he had more life so I could actually finish the combo, you know? Like, finish the
Vítima
combo.
horrorosa.
Vítima horrorosa.
Pode falar, Rastlan. His name, Rastlan.
Haslan,
Seu pato.
seu pato. Seu pato.
Galera, Cabulosas da semana é isso.
Finalizou, mas
For this week, our second Cabulosas here.
Yeah.
My baby.
Which stick do you use?
I don't know. I just use a stick. I think it's from Wamba.
Ah, okay.
Wamba.
Very good.
That's my stick, but it's the first time that I take him
My
on
baby.
travel. Did you enjoy it? Try to travel with him. Try to put that on your suitcase, like it's giant, man. Cabulosinhas, algum recadinho? Algum recadinho?
Um beijo pra galera. Doadora do gato.
Ah, Giovanni já fez bosta.
Ih, calma tudo, tá
Ó,
ligado?
vou terminar igual um médico aqui, ó. Vamos terminar
Tá,
just
vai.
like a doctor. When to try to-
Não, mas não aconteceu nada.
Check
Não
it for
aconteceu nada,
everything.
aconteceu nada. Esse programa aqui ele arregaça.
É isso
Hey,
aí.
okay?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
now we're finishing
Okay.
and we're gonna
Okay.
start the next one.
Okay.
Vambora?
Sounds good.
Vambora? Vambora?
Água.
Vambora?
Agora?
Água.
Vambora?
Bora.
Valeu, Cabuloso, semana que vem. Na última a gente não falou, se inscreve aí.
Siga
não dá
o
pra
canal.
não dá pra deixar pergunta porque é tudo,
Exatamente.
tudo gravado ao mesmo tempo.
Exatamente.
Vamos pra mais um, né?
Vamos.
Se a bateria deixar aqui, ó. Vamos ver se a bateria vai deixar aqui, ó. Vamos ver.